Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We are harvesting some of our peaches now. It's a peach tree that, and I know I'm going to get criticized for this because people always jump on my case, but I pretty much created this tree through some grafting different ways and created this peach tree that I've had this tree now for, gosh, I think probably 12 years maybe. There was a couple of times that I thought I was going to lose it. The old borers got into the bottom of it and got all up in the limbs on it and everything. And I talked to an old elderly lady. She was in her, I think, me and Wanda talked to her. She was in her 90s. Had cancer several times and all, and very, very wise elderly lady. And she told me what to do with that tree, using some bleach and using some wood ashes, and told me how to do things. I did it, and the tree is pulled out. We didn't lose it. And this year, this past year, it still looked really bad, even though the tree is like, I don't know, it's like maybe 8 inches in diameter or better. We began to see some borers in it this past year again, starting. So I talked to a person, told me to take some white latex paint, dilute it down, and paint the base of the tree with that up about 3 feet high, and it would, or lime wash. He said you could use either one, and that should help. And then this elderly lady told me, said in January, if you coat the ground underneath that tree white with lime about the middle of January, you can get rid of a lot of these problems, and then turn around and take some triple 13 fertilize and fertilize that thing good. It'll pull out and it'll do good. Well guys, I was going to lose the tree anyway, it looked like. So I took the advice. I painted the bottom of the tree white. I put the lime on the ground. I spread the fertilize around the tree. Let me tell you something, this is the results of it. These peaches are probably 3.5 inches in diameter. They're just big, beautiful peaches. Now, because of the weather we had this year, the tree actually bloomed twice. It bloomed real early because it was so cold, and then it turned off warm for about 2 weeks. The thing popped out with blooms, and then it turned cold again. And some of the blooms died, some didn't. But then it turned warm again, and it bloomed again. So not only do we have this size peach on the tree, we've still got little small green ones about that big that's making peaches right now. Now one thing, because we went from straight winter, cold, frosty weather to 90-degree temperature in just a couple of weeks, and we haven't left the 90s here, so we've even been in the 100-something degree heat index. Well, what we're having is throw the insect cycles out of balance, and now stink bugs is what we call them here. We have 2 or 3 different varieties, are starting to attack these peaches on the peach tree. So what we're having to do is go in and get these things off, even though, and they're ripe. Some of them maybe could have went another day or two, but we decided to go ahead and do this because, let me tell you something, I'm all about preserving my food here at Deep South Homestead. And these peaches are, guys, I don't even know how to tell you what they smell like just sitting here. You go to a grocery store and buy a peach, it virtually has no scent to it. It has no texture to it. It has no taste to it. These peaches right here are just, I mean, my whole kitchen here smells like peaches. My whole house, really, since we brought them in, with no more than they are right here. But rather than us lose them, here at Deep South Homestead, we're all about doing things in small quantities. Now this is not going to be a big canning, but we're going to can them anyway. Even if it's only 2 jars or 3 jars or whatever it ends up being, 1 jar, whatever. We're going to can them because we don't believe in wasting anything. And a lot of people say, well, I just put them in a deep freeze. Well, guys, we got 3 deep freezers full to the top. It's just not an option for us. And we've got so much more fruit and stuff coming in that we have to can it when we get it, because actually canning it, if electricity goes out, we're not going to lose it. So we're going to take you on a little bit of a journey and show you what we're doing. We're actually going to be saving the peelings. Now, a lot of people say, oh, drop it over in some hot water for about 30 to 60 seconds and the peelings will slip right off. Makes it really fast, and you can do that, and I agree 100%. I've done it that way many times before. But Ms. Wanda is going to be using the peelings off of these to make peach jelly with. So rather than us lose the peelings and just throw them away, we're going to hand peel them with a knife, and we're going to actually save the peelings, and we're going to cook them down, and we're going to make peach jelly after we can the peaches. Okay guys, not only are these just beautiful peaches, this variety of peach that I've worked to build here is a cling free. And what that means is like you can see where the natural line is on it. I'm just going to take my knife. The peach is very soft. I'm just going to run my knife around it. Make sure I've cut all the way around it, and then you can grab them and you can just kind of peel them like this right here. And they come apart. Now you'll see that this peach has had a worm issue in it. And we don't worry about that here at Deep South Homestead, because that just means that peach hasn't had any chemicals sprayed on it. And all we're going to do is just come in here and we're going to cut out where the worms has been. We throw all that away. All that will go to the pigs or wherever, compost or whatever. We get rid of that kind of stuff because it doesn't hurt the peach. And a lot of people will go, oh, I can't believe that you're actually eating that. Well, I'd a whole lot rather eat a peach that had a worm in it than one that was so full of chemicals. In a minute I'm gonna get out of there. There we go. Now I've got all the bad out of this. And what we're going to do right now is we'll just drop this over in the lemon water, and we'll come back in a minute and we'll peel that. Now I may have failed to mention, both of these containers here has lemon water in it, because these peaches will oxidize and turn dark brown on you in just a matter of a couple of minutes if you don't have them in a good heavy lemon water or fruit fresh or some type of citric acid or something like that. So I'm going to continue cutting out these peaches. Like this is the seed right here I'm cutting out, and you can see that's the part of the seed there that I'm going to throw away, and we'll just continue cutting out anything bad. All this will go out to our compost or wherever, and you can see where the worm actually came into it at. You can kind of tell right here. And it'll probably go down to somewhere around the bottom in here. And yep, that's what I thought. You can see right there. And we lose a little peach doing this, but doesn't bother us, because the peach is not hurt. We'll cut, you'll see right here, see where they came in at? They come into the side, so what I'll probably do is just come over here and I'll just get rid of this whole section of this peach right here where they bored holes through it. It's a little time consuming, but you know what? It's a home raised peach. No chemicals, no sprays. Still good and edible peach. So there we go. Now what we're going to do once we've got these here is we're going to take and we're going to come around and we're just going to go right underneath the skin, because these things are so ripe that they're almost mushy. They're so ripe. We like to let them go too long. And we're going to just come right around through here. We're going to take these peelings off. Because they can be used also. And there we have a peach. Now we don't leave ours in big old chunks. We like to cut them up into pieces, because if we want to use them for a peach pie or anything like that, they're already cut up into sections. And plus, they get more contact with the syrup when you put them in the jars, because we make a light syrup to put them in. And when you get ready to do this, you're gonna want a sharp knife. Now, that's one thing. If you're gonna hand peel a peach, an apple, a pear, or anything like that, you need a very sharp knife, and be careful with it. But we'll cut this up into pieces, little by little. Put it off over in that lemon water over there. Guys, that's what it's like. One of the first stages that you go through. You see them floating around in there. We're gonna be putting them in jars in just a minute, and we'll show you a little bit of that process about making the light syrup and what we do. All right, guys, we're in the canning mode now. We've got our sugar water going here. We did an extra light syrup because I don't want to taste sugar when I eat my peaches. I want to taste the peach. So we did an extra light syrup, which was 1 cup of sugar for 5 cups of water. Okay, the jars that we're using here today are just plain, this is what we get our extra virgin coconut oil in. We don't throw these jars away because they're canning jars. They're just not pressure canning jars. They're made for water bathing in. You can water bath any fruits or jellies or jams, anything like that that is an acidic fruit can be water bathed in these tomatoes, anything like that. We don't throw this stuff away. We're very frugal at Deep South Homestead. Now we do occasionally buy the big plastic thing of coconut oil back there, but most of our coconut oil is bought in these glass jars because we can reuse them on the homestead to can in. That's part of our canning that we have set up here now. Okay, guys, we take a pair of tongs and reach over here in the hot water to get our jars up out of the hot water. Set them down here. We are going to be cold packing our peaches. You can do it either way, but we're going to do it. We're going to cold pack ours. Raw pack it, whatever you want to call it. We just take us a ladle like this, spatula with some holes in it. Stick these peaches down in here. I usually don't overfill my jar too bad. Sometimes I'll bump them from the bottom. It kind of helps them to settle down in there. And I'll look at it. I can tell I can use a couple more pieces here, which is perfectly fine right there. And I'll take a nice ladle, move this over here, and I'll take my sugar water, light syrup, put it over in there. Usually 2 of these will do a jar. Perfect. This is just like canning anything else. We take a damp cloth. Some people use vinegar. That's perfectly fine, but we've never found that it's any different for us. We wipe that off good. I'll take my little magnet here. I get my ball canning lid. Now we use the silver ones. We don't use anything gold. I put that on. And I get me a hot ring out. Tighten them down. That's what you end up looking like. Beautiful peaches. Then I come over here, I lift my lid up, and I set this in there and put it back. We're going to continue this process till we get all these done, and we show you the water bath canner when we get it full. Guys, these round jars are messing with me because I'm so used to having to line the writing up with on the lid with the writing on the jars. These jars are perfectly round, they have no writing on them, so it kind of screws with my head a little bit. We'll put this in here. Okay guys, we got 6 jars in there. We're going to take now. We're going to submerge these. We're going to make sure that the water comes over the tops of the jars. It does. It comes over the tops of the jars, which is a good thing. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to wait for it to start boiling, and once it starts boiling, we're going to set the timer for 25 minutes. And once they've done 25 minutes, we'll take them out and we'll show you the end result. Okay guys, we've got 6 pints of Deep South Homestead delicious orange peaches, just beautiful things canned here today. So thank you from Deep South Homestead.
And don't forget guys to check out our t-shirts in the link below. Our slogan is Deep South Homestead, where people gather and leave as friends. You know that whether it's here on YouTube, in the comments below our videos, whether it's on the live stream chats, whether it is on Facebook at the Deep South Homestead Gathering Place, or here in our home. When people gather, they leave as friends. So check out our t-shirts. They come in regular t-shirts, they come in the women's slouchy tanks, and we also have children's available this time. So when you gather at Deep South, you leave as friends. Thank you guys.